Hi everybody, it's Christina from Adventures in Polished Land and happy Friday to you. I'm going to be honest and start out this video by saying this is the third time I'm filming this video. I filmed it once yesterday and I felt like I was too grouchy in it, and then I just filmed it now and I started out with really good intentions and then I felt like I was grouchy again. And I think what's happening is we are reaching the midpoint of the year. The end of June is just a couple of days away and my TBR is out of control. I still have 4 books on my June TBR that I have not even touched. I'm reading the 5th one right now, and I am getting a little bit concerned that we are halfway through the year and I am nowhere near reaching any of my reading goals. So that is a little bit sad, and I'm trying not to feel down about it because this year has had a lot of unexpected twists and turns for me, and although things have been leveling out, I would say the past 2 months, I just have to give myself grace to be like, you know what, things didn't go according to your plan, so how can you expect your goals to go according to plan as well? So at the end of the day, I am trying to sit back, relax about my reading. Even if I don't get my goals accomplished within this year, I can hopefully carry them into next year and still complete them and still have that sense of accomplishment. And I'm specifically talking about the American Lit Reading Challenge because I thought this goal was so doable. Last year I read 72 books, and this year I had the intention of reading even more. But as it turns out, I am reading so much less than last year, and I'm falling behind even the goal of reading 50 to 60 books. So I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to stay at whatever pace feels good to me, and hopefully it'll all work out in the end. I'm hoping that at some point I will get my reading groove back and I will feel a little bit better about things. But I did finish one book since we last spoke. That was Tom Lake by Ann Patchett. This was a 3-star read for me. I think it was just way too overhyped. I felt like it was lacking in authenticity a little bit. As somebody who is from New England originally, it felt like the main character, who was supposed to be from New Hampshire, didn't really feel like she was from New Hampshire. And I also really did not like Duke, who is the main love interest. Anyone who's in a relationship with somebody and they don't even care to remember your name and they encourage you to smoke and drink when you tell them that you don't want to, that's just a bad person right there, in my opinion. So I think he got romanticized because he ended up being a movie star. And yeah, they showed a lot of his dark times as well, but I couldn't really relate to the book in that way, so it just felt way too overhyped for me. Now I am currently reading Stoner by John Williams. This is set in Missouri. It is about a young man who goes to college to be a farmer. He is studying agriculture, and while he's there, he discovers English literature, and he switches his major without telling his parents, and then he ends up becoming an academic. He also has a really interesting relationship with his wife. I'm still trying to figure that out and wrap my head around what happened there. I am just over 100 pages in, so I have about 170 pages to go, and I am hopeful I could finish it this weekend, but I'm not sure how realistic that is because I do have a lot of plans. I actually took a little bit of vacation time today to go see a movie with my dad as a Father's Day gift for him. We saw Disclosure Day, which was entertaining. Not the best movie, but I'm glad I saw it. I think we had a good time together, or at least I did. And then tomorrow I am going to be away from home for most of the day, so I probably won't get much reading done. But all of that being said, I hope you're having a great reading week yourself. I hope you're reading a good book or 2 or 3. I did want to read one little quote from the introduction of Stoner, which was written by John McGahern, if I'm saying that right. It is on page 13 of the introduction, and it made me think quite a bit. So in the New York Review of Books Classics, there's always an introduction where somebody else talks about the book a little bit. And here he is mentioning Brian Woolley, who had interviewed the author, John Williams, and they are talking about books and the experience of reading them. And so Williams had said that novels or poems are something to be studied and understood rather than experienced, and how they're a kind of a puzzle. And then Woolley said, absolutely, to read without joy is stupid. And that certainly made me think, right? Because why do I read? I read because I enjoy it. Certainly there are times in life where I don't read with joy. If I'm reading the news, chances are I'm not going to be overjoyed by what's in the news, though maybe I can feel fulfilled in being aware of what's going on in the world. And when I was a student, there were many, many times that I did not enjoy reading my textbooks or the assigned books that we were given in class. But at the end of the day, I became a more educated person because of that. So perhaps that brought me joy in that way. But now, as an adult who is reading in my spare time as my primary hobby, I would say, I do want my books to bring me joy. And I think maybe at this moment I'm struggling with that a little bit. And so I'm just going to keep reading when it feels good to me. And if it doesn't, I will pick up some other hobbies. I've been doing some crossword puzzles recently, but I would love to hear your thoughts on that. Do you read because it brings you joy, and do you think it's stupid to read without joy? I would love to know. I will see all of you in my next video. Bye.